Hello and welcome to a game of Dota 2. This is day number 9 of StarSeries Season 7, game number 4 of the 4 games that were scheduled for today. So that means that this is our last game for StarSeries until tomorrow, of course, because we're gonna have about 27 or maybe more days, actually. I think more than that, but we have ourselves a lot of days. So this is gonna be Kaipi versus aSpera. I am not by myself for this cast. Thank God. Vigermund, welcome back.
Good to be back, Shiver. We've had a really good day of games, as I think you mentioned a couple times. Almost every game has been, if not super close, at least with a lot of interesting decisions. And an interesting trend today has been this very high valuation of Anti-Mage.
Yeah, I know.
And for the third game in a row, we see him picked pretty high. This time by aSpera. I mean, we have some players today that like to play Anti-Mage. I know Go Audio. This is kind of one of his preferred heroes. He's a very farming-focused carry. And so Anti-Mage is a hero that very much rewards that decision. It's just interesting that with really the shift that we've seen from Alchemist back to AM a little bit, like they could have taken Alchemist here if they wanted, and if this were a TI3 game, maybe they would have, if they were a team not named DK. But here they go for AM.
They indeed go for AM. I think that we are going to see Storm for KP at some point. We have the Doom already banned out for it. So perhaps that was their way. We have seen KP going for the Storm a lot lately, and I'm not sure. I mean, it doesn't really get the kind of play out of it that I would expect from a Storm, especially, for example, if Sharfik gets a Storm. That's a whole different kind of Storm that you'll see if that happens. And I'm still hoping that that will happen, because he plays a pretty mean Storm. But KP, they get themselves a Nature's Prophet and a Visage, so that's already some pushing power in the pocket if they do want to take the kind of late game. Bone 7's Nature's Prophet, of course, pretty scary. The bans on itself were pretty standard on the side of aSpera, the Bet and the IO. The Doom and the Lifestealer, of course, not that standard, but again, works well if you are planning on picking up the Storm, or if you're planning on picking up the Anti-Mage, actually. Then maybe KP was hoping that they would get the Anti-Mage instead. But they have the chance to ban something out, and they are taking a long time to do it. And they're taking into the bonus time for it.
Yeah, I mean, they want to sort of figure out how they want to structure the rest of their draft here. I think the Anti-Mage, somewhat surprising. So they do have, honestly, I think Kaipi's lineup is perfectly legitimate here. They ban out Storm, which I think is very interesting. They clearly, Sharfik, it's one of his heroes that he prefers the most. In fact, I think that is a little tiny Raijin Thunderkeg right there. And yes, it is. His avatar is, in fact.
What?
His avatar is the Warcraft 3 Dota version of Storm Spirit.
Sharfik.
Yeah.
But isn't it like, I see it more like, I mean, I know it's the Storm Spirit, but it looks more like a drawn one, like maybe
yeah,
it's
like it's like a little fan art of him. But the point is, he's been playing Storm a lot, and so Kaipi choose to ban it, even though it's a hero that Kaipi have been running a lot.
Yeah. First pick does go to aSpera, so the risk was there for them to pick it up. It's a shame, because Sharfik's Storm is definitely enjoyable to watch. Of course, KP and aSpera, these two teams fought each other yesterday in the best of 3 for the SteelSeries Cup. KP ended out coming out ahead for that one. They are, by the way, also slightly on a time schedule, because after this game they have got to go to the grand finals of that, since they made it through. But those were enjoyable matches to watch. I do not know where the VODs are, but if you missed those, you should definitely watch them, even though I just spoiled the results, but oh well. Those were also having a Storm Spirit for Sharfik. So that's the reason why KP knows, like, you know what, let's remove that one for this time. Puck also removed, one of the heroes that Sharfik really loves to play. Still have the Queen of Pain, though.
Yeah, I actually have not caught up on those VODs yet, but I did hear that it was a really good series. I do feel like the games that I've watched of Kaipi, and this is what was reported to me about those games, even though I didn't actually first-hand watch them, but I have seen Kaipi and Starladder. They sort of fall behind early on. Like, they've been doing a lot of falling behind and then winning on just superior, like, mechanics and, like, positioning in the mid to mid-late game. So we'll see what happens here. They go for the Troll. Troll Nature's Prophet, of course, is a very, very scary split-pushing lineup, because the Troll, again, does not have to be where the Nature's Prophet is to double his speed of taking down towers.
Yeah, it's a very scary situation already. aSpera, though, they have got the Naga Siren, so that's gonna be some not counter push per se, but just counter a fight. Just set up for us, or stop everything what's happening. Wait for the Berserker's race to be over. That's of course a pretty big deal. And then try to maybe go in. They have a Timbersaw to get into fights fast. They have a Darkseer. So the team fight potential for aSpera is definitely there. I mean, whirling death in a vacuum is pretty scary. And I think we might see a Timbersaw in the mid lane. I hope that we will, at least. Off lane, of course, still definitely possible, even though Darkseer will probably take on that role. So in a way, we have got our cores ready. We've got a Weaver pickup for KP, with a Rubik instantly banned out in the side of aSpera, who might be aiming to pick up a Bane in their last support role. Naga, Siren, Bane, Anti-Mage for a safe lane. Timbersaw mid, Darkseer off lane? What say you?
Yeah, that sounds really good, honestly. The Bane sounds like a good pickup, to the point where I wouldn't be surprised if Kaipi chose to ban it here. Of course, Kaipi, for their part, need another support as well, and a Bane wouldn't exactly be bad for them either. But more likely than not, I think they probably ban it and aSpera tries to take it. This mid lane will be, this mid lane will be interesting. You've got Timbersaw versus Troll. Troll is not strength. I mean, he's an agility hero, so he's not going to be trashed by Timbersaw. Timbersaw really just will dominate that strength versus strength matchup. I don't think Troll can necessarily kill Timber either. And they fill out with a support Alk. Huh.
Yeah.
Ito.
I think
so Troll
like
is yeah, because Troll is actually really squishy early, and is squishy in general until he gets BKB. So the idea here might be smoke the Naga and the Alchemist over into the middle, and Troll is dead.
I think that is needed also. Try and slow him down. Try to slow KP down. Slow the push down. Slow the split push down. Weaver also, of course, one of the split pushers that you have to be careful about. I wouldn't be surprised to see a Nyx Assassin or a Sand King here, but oh my god, they go to KP way. It is a Spirit Breaker support. We just said that we might see some early ganks coming off from aSpera, from the Alchemist. But Spirit Breaker definitely want to probably try to do the same thing.
We have by the way, we do have a game with 10 heroes, 9 of whom are interpretable as core level heroes. Now, some of them will be played as support. Obviously, this is going to be a 5-position Spirit Breaker, and basically a 4-position, 5-position Naga Siren. But 9 out of the 10 heroes can be played as carries. Basically.
Only the Visage is kind of typical support. The rest is
and
offlane carry,
yeah,
solo mid carry.
So the natural endpoint, and Ice Frog, eat your heart out of making a multi-core friendly game, is that you end up with this, whatever the hell this is. And even Visage, I mean, he's a support, but he's a support who picks up so many kills that he makes ags, and usually just ags, but still. He
is definitely one of the more normally richer supports that can definitely transition into way more than just a support, though in this case, he's probably going to be the one to be forced to buy all the wards and stuff. I mean, there will always be one hard support that will really have to sacrifice his farm for the greater good of the game in terms of getting all those wards up, the vision, and no nice HUD skins to use. So let's go over the players as we're waiting for Stompa to be back. We have got aSpera on the Dire side. They will be taking on the Timbersaw, played by Sharfik. He'll be on the mid lane. Go Audio on the Anti-Mage, as we already knew that he was going to play that one. Inquisitor will take on the offlane on his Darkseer. Stompa on the support Naga Siren. And Zizu Dota with a nice Alchemist skin. I wasn't expecting him to have an Alchemist skin, considering he normally is indeed the support or the Visage or the Chen or the Enchantress, all those micro-heavy heroes, but Alchemist. And he is, he's going to be playing the support Alchemist this game. I think the lanes are pretty simple.
The Claptrap is from the box for the Luckless Luck box, so...
Oh.
It's very possible to get that even
Rare
if you don't
brains.
Yeah. That's one of the luck box items from the TI3 that will be available in the Dota store again sometime soon, I think. Looking towards Kaipi, I don't know yet if they're going to choose to run an aggressive or safe try. I feel like it'll probably be a safe try. I very rarely see Eternal Envy running aggressive try lanes. I feel he prefers just safe farming. But it's not impossible that they would run an aggressive try with this composition. In fact, Spirit Breaker and Visage, very capable of 3v3 heroes, as is Weaver. So let's provisionally say that maybe it's an aggressive try lane of Eternal Envy on the Weaver, AUI 2000, back with his Dignitas tag rather than his stand-in tag. So I don't know what that means, if anything, but it's interesting.
Yeah, I think it means that, well, he is playing for, like, Dignitas is playing tonight for the MLG Fall Dota 2 Invitational thing. Perhaps.
Is he on the team?
Well, if he's tagged as Dignitas, I would assume so.
I don't know if he actually is registered for MLG under Dignitas. Well, whatever. Either way, he's on the Visage. Spirit Breaker piloted by Pylai. Kaipi, basically the innovators of running support Spirit Breaker at the professional level, so always good to see them go with that. And that leaves Sing Sing playing for now a few days in a row as Beaver Knight on the Troll Warlord, which I believe is also his avatar. Yeah. And then Bone 7 on the Niche's Prophet.
No, Beaver Knight is his avatar. Not the... Oh, I thought you meant Troll is his avatar. What? No,
I meant his avatar is the Beaver Knight. I'm sorry, that wasn't clear.
That wasn't clear. He's had that avatar for ages.
Yeah, UI 2000 is not on the official Dignitas MLG roster, so I honestly have no idea what the heck is going on.
Weird. Well...
It's that really... it's actually pretty interesting. Those are games worth watching if people are still going to be on later today, because the new Dignitas roster, I don't think anybody knows quite what to make of it. It's Fogged, Korok, Infinity, BDiz, and 1437, so that could be really good. Could also be really weird.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see how that shakes out.
I mean, they don't, I think most of the people that watch Starlight are from Europe. You don't even have to stay up for the first match of the Dignitas, because it starts at 10 PM CEST time. There's actually 3 matchups, so 6 games, because everybody faced each other twice. And 4 of those games, of the 6 games, are with Dignitas, including the first 2. So you have a chance to watch the new Dignitas roster in action. Or possibly new Dignitas roster in action, because, you know, we don't really know for a fact if that's indeed the official Dignitas roster, right? Especially not since AOI just tagged up as Dignitas.
Right, who knows, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't. Either way, I think this aggressive try could be very effective for Kaipi. Adding the Spirit Breaker just turned it from like, Visage Weaver, sure Visage is very scary, but it's not going to be the easiest to break through this lineup, to, oh goodness, they're just going to charge and not give 2 hoots, or 2 hoofs.
Hooves. 2 hooves. Spirit Breaker has got 2 hooves, because I mean, he actually has thumbs.
He's oddly bipedal, yes.
But the question is, does he have split hooves like cows do, or real hooves like horses do?
I'm sure we could zoom in and check. My graphics settings
He is walking in water right now. I cannot zoom in because I turned that off, because sometimes I accidentally zoomed in. And that was very annoying for me, so I make sure that I now no longer have the option to zoom.
Right. And this is, aSpera versus Kaipi also has this other little undercurrent of drama, where Zizou is one of the 2 players that was kicked in the big, like, Eternal Envy takeover of this team, right?
Yep.
Him and Arise.
Him and Arise. So that's gonna be, maybe also a bit of a history lesson, just, you know, a bit of, maybe bad blood. I don't know how that went. We don't know how that went. But we have an aggressive tri lane versus safe tri lane. I think it's gonna be, like, is this an interesting aggressive tri lane, right? I mean, Nature's Prophet on an aggressive tri lane, and what's going on here? Safe lane Weaver, still pretty standard. Up against a Darkseer, I mean, we've seen that before. Inquisitor actually getting harassed away by Eternal Envy right now. Those Gemini attacks, actually Envy goes in further. Might actually decide to chase it down, knowing that there's only an Iron Shell, and Darkseer still only level 1. This could be the first blood for Envy. He has got another Tsukushi in 4 seconds. Will he try to make it happen? And Gemini attack is up again, and he is gonna try and dive it. He's gonna go for it. That's gonna be the Tsukushi up. Inquisitor knows he has to stick close to his tower. One more hit needed. Will be the first blood. Envy takes it home. Has to go back all the way. Takes a lot of damage. But first blood spilled, and that means that aSpera is too late, even though they're coming in the mid lane and we're looking to take down Sing Sing. In comes the stun, in comes the snare as well if need be. In comes the Nature's Prophet TPing in to try and help out. No, he cancels it, saying, you know, Sing Sing, screw you, you're dead. And snare already off though, and Sing Sing actually pops himself, and he runs. In your face, Bone 7, for not trying to save him. In the meantime, charge up for Guardian.
Oh.
Come on, action all over the map. What more could you wish? We're only 2 minutes in. That's gonna be another kill going the way of KP. And that's gonna be also Sing Sing drawing a penis on the map in your face, Sharfik, he says.
Yeah, I don't think Bone 7 didn't TP because he didn't think Sing Sing would survive. I think it's the exact opposite. I think he knew that Sing Sing would survive, because once he landed the whirling axes slow, there was actually not that much way with 7 seconds left on the cooldown of both Ensnare and Concoction that they could catch him again. So it was unnecessary, and it would have wasted a lot of Nature's Prophet XP to TP over to something that he wouldn't be able to get kills, but also they probably wouldn't lose Sing Sing. So definitely a big advantage built up for Kaipi already. Gotta give props to Envy's Weaver there for diving in and really just taking out Inquisitor. That was outplay, more or less.
Yeah, very decent. And of course, aggressive Trilon also successful in this. We have got Envy having a brilliant start in that bottom lane. And right now, the only one that is has not really lost his lane yet is Sharfik. He is 12-2 right now, with Sing Sing being on 13-1, so it's very even in this lane so far. There is a bottle up of Sharfik as well that he is bottle crowing. He didn't pick up a level in Timber Chain, which is just him saying, you know what, I'm not going to get ganked, I don't need to have an escape route. Or I can walk myself out since they have reactive armor, it will be quite tanky anyways.
Right. He's a little too tanky for it to be too feasible. Plus, Kaipi isn't going to want to like have Pila Die or AUI 2000 leave because they're doing such a good job pressuring Go Audio, who's stuck on 6 last hits. So I think this is the correct decision from Sharfik. The bigger problem for aSpera is, you know, they were really thinking that they could get these kills. This is why the Alchemist is here. He's here to walk into the middle lane, concoction the troll, and then have a dead troll. Instead, he's stuck on level 1, where Kaipi's supports are on 2 and 3, and the one attempt they had on troll ended in more or less total failure.
Yep, and then are you going to try again? Because the next time you try, Sing Sing's going to be higher in level, and he has boots, and he might have a better chance of actually taking something in return, because those whirling axes are definitely no joke. And you might have a support in your hand that is very low level that might actually die from that in the end. So you have to be really careful with thinking about what you're going to try for next. We do have Sharfik having rune control. He picks himself up an illusion rune, which is nice. Also, KP on the top lane is seemingly a little bit more passive in terms of just letting Bone 7 farm and being content and just making sure that Go Audio does not farm, of course, because that's the reason why they're there. I mean, they didn't even need to really win the lane as long as they slow Go Audio down, but they're actually getting so much done in all the lanes right now that... Well, aSpera, what's their mid-game plan?
Keeping Go Audio from winning the lane is basically winning the lane, honestly. If he's not farming, that's so much of aSpera's damage that it's not going to happen. I mean, is Darkseer going to provide like the big damage? No, probably not. Timbersaw is a huge damage dealer, but he's not going to scale past a certain point. I mean, he'll still be very strong, but they want to have this handoff to Anti-Mage, which at this rate is going to be extremely, extremely late. The other way is, I mean, you could see Alchemist, Zizu now just trying to get levels by doing a little bit of jungling. Theoretically, Alchemist can do something later on, but there's going to be a tremendous amount of pressure going out of them very soon.
Okay, I'm going to already preemptively apologize for perhaps thunder that you will hear outside because, well, it will be loud, I think, because it's going to come straight over my house. Anyways, yeah, Go Audio just shut down. KP just looking very solid. I mean, they're having all lanes under control. Maybe not the mid lane, but as long as it's being even, they're actually doing really well, so it's fine. 32 for 2 for Sing Sing, as Sharfik is sitting on 30 for 3, so still even. But Sharfik cannot really rotate to any of the lanes and try and make a kill happen. Maybe he can get some on Envy, but he has got himself time-lapse, so he won't be able to do anything there. Maybe he can get something on... Oh, what?
Nothing. He just went down to very low there before he hit time-lapse. Even actually an instant of a second later, and he would have died before time-lapsing. But it's good min-max. As long as you're confident that you can get at the right time, you'll be fine.
Yeah,
but he is taking a lot more harassment here than he was earlier.
Yeah, of course the Iron Shell being leveled helps out a lot for Inquisitor. He's got his Iron Shell level 3. It's making last hitting under the tower for Weaver a lot more difficult than it was at the start. Actually, on the top lane we have Sharfik rotating and Chakram not really doing that much. In comes Zizu going for a stun, gets a AOI 2000, but he is stuck under his tower, so he's fine. And Sharfik has to rotate back. That was an unsuccessful rotation coming off from Sharfik, who really wanted to make something happen there. He even had a chance to try and, you know, go low because he had a regen rune. He could get back into the fight with full HP. But they weren't able to make it work, and that means that Sing Sing got some free farm in mid, and basically KP all they had to do was take a walk back to their tower and then come back towards the lane. Come back towards the grid lane.
And the level disparity is also a serious problem. This Alchemist is he's almost bankrupt. He just has tier 1 boots. He only has a rank 1 unstable concoction, which is just going to become less and less useful. And as soon as they leave, there we go. Go Audio probably gets picked up.
Assumption. Ooh, nicely done so far. We do have, of course, Sharfik coming in. Looks for AOI. In comes a stun from Zizu. Looks for a target. Goes for Bone 7. In comes one stun. Sharfik inside of the Sprout. That's going to be a kill going the way of aSpera. Maybe looking for AOI. We won't be able to get him anymore. Sharfik, no, not enough mana. The Chakram will still slow him down, but it's not enough to take him down. As what's he doing there? What's Pila Die doing there? He's hiding. They don't see him. He TPs himself back towards base. Needs more mana anyway, so that he can charge again. But good fight for aSpera in the end. They use a lot of resources to take down the Nature's Prophet, which was of course the most important target on the top lane, and they create some space for Go Audio, because look at him farm.
Most importantly, I would say Go Audio didn't die, which was at one point very, very possible. Meanwhile, Envy, by the way, he turns it again on Inquisitor. Inquisitor was honestly being pretty low in general. Plus, the Soul Ring, when you're taking constant harassment, actually becomes kind of a pain because you're losing a lot of HP, and Weaver can continue to take advantage of that and consistently harass. This very early Ring of Akala just gave Eternal Envy everything he wanted in this lane. It gave him mana regen, and stats, and damage to really just take it over the Weaver. Sorry, take it over the Darkseer. He's done something else interesting afterwards, too. He's gone Phase Boots, which is a very atypical boot choice for Weaver.
Yeah, since he already gets his max movement speed with Shakushi. So it just allows him to chase even more. So imagine you are a Darkseer and you think, you know what, I can at least surge away in between Shakushis. Right. That can no longer happen, because even if Envy is not Shakushiing, he is still one of the strongest. In comes a charge, they want to go for Inquisitor. And that is gonna be Inquisitor trying to surge himself away. In comes Weaver again, TPing from Sharfik. It's gonna be too late though. Inquisitor dies, Sharfik tries to get Envy. Oh, that Whirling Death, that time lapse still there. There's no Whirling Death anymore for another 4 seconds. Sharfik does try to chase him down. Tries to find some trees to hook to. He has got one in 2 seconds again. But Envy backs off in Shakushi and will be fine. In the meantime, 2 heroes in the mid lane. Since there's no Timbersaw, they decide, you know what, we might as well start pushing a little bit. They do also have the Berserker's Rage again in 5 seconds when that fortification is off. And the Acid Spray is not doing enough because it's only level 1.
Yep, they just battle trance again. Bone 7 actually in a bit of trouble, but
in comes Zizou. Oh, Zizou getting charged actually. Thinks he wants to go for a kill as Bone 7 still stuck. Zizou goes down. In comes Sharfik, but he won't be able to get a kill here unless maybe he can get Bone 7. Pilot Eye finding the courier and bashes the courier. That's a dead courier. Pilot Eye, nicely done. They still will try to take him down for it, but it would be worth it. Sharfik takes a Soul Assumption as Pilot Eye indeed drops. But it's still only 1 for 1. AUI stunned up, ensnared. In comes Whirling Axes. Zizou, he already died earlier this fight. He will die for the 2nd time. Sharfik and Sopa still want to take AUI. The Urn Charge will end up taking him down. Sharfik will die for him though, and that is not a worthy trade. They'll lose a Courier. They lose Alchemist twice. They lose their Timbersaw, which was the only one that was actually doing really nice so far. And that is gonna be trouble for them for sure.
Weaver just continues to dive and harass Darkseer. Like that, those Phase Boots, the main thing, I think is exactly as you said, is give him even more lane dominance and just ability to harass the Darkseer. And I think, as you said also, that mid-fight definitely in Kaipi's favor. Continuing to cause chaos when they have people free farming and pushing out is very good for them. Fight could have gone better, but it was honestly very close to ideal for them. The only thing is, because most of Kaipi's team was there, Go Audio finally found some space and is now up to 43 last hits. So at least Anti-Mage is getting not close to Battle Fury, but closer.
Yeah, we've got ourselves a 5k for 4.5k difference in terms of gold though in favor of KP. We do of course have in terms of net worth that Weaver sitting on highest because he just took solo kills, 3 solo kills, and all last hits for himself. The Troll is doing really well in the mid lane, who now also has 2 kills and an assist because of that mid fight. Everybody got ahead so much from that fight. Bone 7 is the only one that actually died of the 3 cores that KP has, and Bone 7 still has a kill, still has Phase Boot, still close to his mechanism, which will allow his team to fight even more than they already do. I mean, they will just be able to group up with 5 people, or 4 if there's a split pusher somewhere as well, and just take towers down. I mean, I'm gonna expect the same thing to happen as we saw earlier this week. I don't know if it was yesterday or the day before, where the safe lane farmer, the safe lane solo farmer will just be on the bottom lane and will push out the entire time, and will at some point have those towers down, while the other 4 are in the mid and in the top, taking down towers one at a time, when there's nothing that the opponent team can actually do against them.
Especially with Battle Trance, because that does make your multi-lane push just so incredibly strong. You can see that they're just playing. Yeah, you can't win that chicken battle with a Weaver on the tower last hit because of the power of Geminate. Like, he can attack twice in the time that it takes you to attack once. They get the deny top, which is nice for aSpera, but overall, Kaipi are just vastly ahead, and I do really like that Bone 7 went this early mechanism. I think this is exactly appropriate. I'm glad it didn't go Midas. It is funny that he goes Midas on Darkseer, but not on Nature's Prophet, but it's the correct choice.
Yeah, we have got well, Go Audio, he's just so delayed on his Battle Fury. I mean, it's set 12 and a half minutes in. He's only got his Ring of Health. That's all. I actually buy something else right now. He actually goes for Treads, smart choice. Just to get himself some extra survivability, extra attack speed as well, just making it easier for him to maybe farm even a little bit better than he does right now. But He is so shut down, it is unbelievable. Timbersaw is not a hero that can, by himself, if he's not winning the mid lane, which, I mean, it was a wash. If he's not winning the mid lane, he cannot carry the team on his back through this, well, lineup of...
He is able to deal tremendous quantities of damage. The issue is not so much that he just can't, like, kill people, which he definitely can, but I agree with you in the sense that Timbersaw can only be in one place. Like, he's not Tinker. He can't defend 3 lanes that are being pushed, potentially. And that's what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with a Kaipi team that can push 3 lanes credibly, because they now have all 3 of their cores are quite well, like, net worth. Like, they all have items.
Yeah, and they still have control of the map as well. Complete control, almost. The Dire Jungle has been taken over by AUI, and V actually leaving his lane, going for Zizou here, looking to see if he can make something happen. Zizou already dead with the soul assumption coming off from AUI. Nature's Prophet ultimate bouncing through. Stompa in a lot of trouble, gets in a snare off. There's no Gemini attack for that one, so 12 HP Naga Siren gets himself out of there. Bone 7 gets himself put in a chakram. He's out of mana, but the mechanism will heal him up again. Nice familiar stun, stunning up Sharfik. Sharfik gets picked off. Double kill for AOI. In comes a mana void. Anti-mage trying to make something happen, but it's not enough right now as Darkseer ends up going down. And that is gonna be 3 kills. No, 3 kills going the way of KP. It's just that the Alchemist is still level 4, so he's already back up again. And
I'm uncertain if Anti-Mage will even manage to get Battle Fury this game. That's how rough this is. I don't know where they're going to find the space to give him free farm. Like, maybe he'll get Battle Fury, but then that's going to be the item he could very well end this game on, unless aSpera find a way to come back into it, Anti-Mage aside.
Yeah. I don't know. Can you actually hear that?
Nope.
Could you hear that?
I can't. Maybe
Okay.
people on stream can.
Okay. This is just curious. I don't think the people on the stream can then either. But, I hope that there is no lightning in where my ISP is, just saying. We have 2k up on Sing Sing's Troll Warlord, who went, by the way, drums phase, so very early aggression build, no surprise, because that's basically what KP is doing. They're keeping the pressure on, and they're keeping it on good as well. I mean, all the tier 1's already gone. They just dove the enemy jungle. aSpera tries to make it safe again, though. They place wards, sentry wards there as well, just to make sure that, I mean, their jungle has to be theirs. Dive, Inquisitor getting charged up. Looks like the charge will be cancelled, though, because, yeah, that's a bit too far.
Probably. But he can just cancel it once he's already halfway across the map, and that'll let him, for instance, convert it into a charge on Timbersaw if he so desires in a moment. By the way, Battle, we haven't talked about this yet, but oh wow, yo, he's still...
Yeah, Nature's Prophet Ultimate, that's a kill! This supports Spirit Breaker.
Yeah, here's the thing, Spirit Breaker plus Battle Trance is a Spirit Breaker with like 3 items, right?
Sharfik might be in some trouble. Oh. In comes a song, just right after the charge used by Pilot Eye, so he's out of mana, doesn't have a charge, and he's standing in a chakram. In comes Nature's Prophet, though. They're gonna try to make a change to this, and Snare still up on Pilot Eye. Looks like, well, while we're here, we might as well take a tier 2 tower. That might be an option there.
So, you know how in pub, carry Spirit Breakers just go Mask of Madness, right? So it's 100%, it's 100 attack speed, but you take 30% more damage. Troll Warlord level 2 ultimate is 120 attack speed, and you take no extra damage. So suddenly, it doesn't matter whether Spirit Breaker has 5 items or no items, he by himself can threaten any of your heroes.
Yeah, and I mean, he is not even poor. I mean, he's got treads. He is actually only 1k behind the Timbersaw in terms of gold, which is, you know, or also due to the result of Timbersaw now dying twice after basically stopping his item progression after the mid lane was over, basically. And KP just having full control, and they're playing with aSpera right now. They're forcing them to move all over and splitting them up right now. I mean, we have 3 on the bottom lane, 2 on the middle lane. They will be joining the bottom lane soon because it looks like aSpera finally want to try and take a fight here. In comes the son of a Pilot Eye. Chakram coming in as well. That's already going to be 1 dead. Can they take down Sing Sing as well? The whirling axe of Zizou gets picked up there. Still Sing Sing trying to run. Having that extra speed as well. In comes AY. With the extra speed for sure. In comes a charge of Pilot Dive off back once up here again. Nature from an ultimate as well. There goes AY killing off Sharfik, forcing back the anti-mages. Surge away from Inquisitor, but he gets sprouted up. Will get killed off as well if he's not careful. Sing Sing looking for maybe a slow. Can have that again in 3 seconds. In comes Izu again. But that's gonna be it. that's gonna be it for now. In the meantime, on the top lane, Envy, I feel like I should play like some calming music while he's just split pushing away, you know. Basically, on the other side, meanwhile, on the top lane. It's just,
He's got Lincolns, by the way. He has enough money to finish that now. So even with, he's participated in 7 kills, and he has the money for Lincoln Sphere. And he didn't even rush it. He got Boots and Akala. So honestly, Kaipi have almost won this one already. I really like the strategy that they pursued here. I think almost everything they did was really, really smart and well considered. The Space Cow pick was really strong. I don't know. I can't praise them enough for this game, honestly. They've looked periodically uninspiring in StarLadder, but this is definitely an excellent game from them. Necro 1 is done for profit also, for extra push.
By the way, with
Battle
their,
trends, by the way, with Necros is insane too.
Yeah. With Kaipi having, or being allowed a do-over basically from the first game of the season, which they actually lost up against CD, and they won up against Ubos, they're actually undefeated at the moment in StarSeries.
Oh, good point, yeah.
Stompa, Gemini attack will do the job. Still Envy gets a stun, but it doesn't matter. They have to back out because he might as well try and kill off Zizou as well.
Ooh, he skipped Lincoln's, he just went straight for the Dezo. I actually like this more. I always like when Weaver is ready to commit. And, again, now he pushes insanely.
As if he didn't do that before. Sharfik, what you doing there, buddy? You're on the wrong side of the tower. Hey, why? I mean, we talked about this at the start, how we should be able, like, Visages are able to get kills. He got 5 out of the 15 so far. Pretty decent last hitting potential.
BKB done for Troll. And their split push is now insane. Like, they were just forced to fortify. Envy's still gonna go for it because he's Envy. He probably can still get the tower, honestly.
Yeah, he has the time lapse again in 5 seconds, so why not? Tower gets denied, but I think that Zizou might be paying for that one. In comes Sumpa with an ensnare. In comes Guardio as well. They really want to take him down. Manavoid is about to get him before he can time lapse. A big pickup for aSpera, but Tower's still dead. Roshan still going the way of KP.
I mean, I think Eternal Envy knew more likely than not if aSpera had any sense about them, they'd kill him there. And he had just finished Dezo, so it wasn't tremendously important. And even the tower, the deny that aSpera got is very good, but it's even more map control seated, and it's even more unsafe positioning for Go Audio, who now is looking to finally get his Battle Fury at 21 minutes.
What do you think that aSpera should do here? Because right now, 15k gold in favor of KP. We have 12k experience in favor of KP. How are they gonna try and take this game back? As we see that Sharfik once again a lot of trouble. In comes another strike and down goes Sharfik. So that is basically their main core hero right now because Antimate's not gonna be it. What are they gonna do?
You're not gonna like this answer, but it's camp high ground with half the team. Have Anti-Mage farming. Occasionally send out the entire team to like ward or to replace wards or counter ward the other team. And otherwise just sit as close to their base or inside their base as possible and wait for Anti-Mage to make something happen with farm.
Do you still think that Anti-Mage should go for Battle Fury?
It's honestly, well, he's so close, he probably, should get it. Because he needs to... First of all, this is what I mean about why they need to stay in base. Anybody that's in vision is going to die.
Oh my god! Envy with the Desolator! Look at those supports just melt!
Right. So, so like, nobody except Anti-Mage is probably allowed to leave the base except S4. So, that's the position that they find themselves in. And Audio has to go Battle Fury, because otherwise he won't farm quickly enough when he's outside the base to actually ever get items. Even all this is still like a 5% chance to win, because Kaipi has no reason not to go high ground.
I still find it generous that you give them 5%, because going high ground for KP is definitely not a problem, especially not with that Berserker's Rage. They can just put it on and tower will drop, and they have of course got the Chakram, and also, like we see right now, wait a second, Sing Sing might actually die here. He does have an Aegis, of course. In comes the Aegis burn, and the Dark Sea Wall gets put up as well, as we see it at Pile dies. KP, can they actually still take this? I don't think so. Look at that, with a Dark Seer, with Acid Spray. They were able to do something. As Envy goes for Go Audio, almost was able to pick him up by himself. Sharfik! That's gonna be Sharfik dead. There's just too much damage coming off from Envy at the moment. As Stompa will be, there's a GG. It is over. aSpera tap out. The pain is gone.
Not an easy game for aSpera by any means. To win, they needed to hold down Troll. I mean, it's that simple. They needed to have that gank on Troll work and to continue that into total dominance. The Timber needed to be substantially ahead of Troll in order for anything, and the Tri-Lane needed to go a little better, but honestly, that was probably never going to happen. They paid A for the early Anti-Mage pick. They picked it too early, frankly. And Kaipi went a very aggressive out-laning and out-mid-gaming composition that punished the decision to draft the Anti-Mage so early. Furthermore, like, they took the Alchemist in the end anyway, so why not take Alchemist first and leave yourself a little more open to have variants later and see if you need the Anti-Mage, right?
Yep.
Anyway, Kaipi, really strong lineup, really strong play. Just Envy's laning, really impeccable. It's rare that you see Weaver dominate a Darkseer that hard. I don't know, really well played.
For sure, and that means that KP is still undefeated in the StarSeries Season 7. We are going to be having more games tomorrow, though. Let me just check for a second there which games you'll see tomorrow, as apparently I am... Oh, I had closed that file. That shouldn't do that. Okay, so tomorrow, Monday, will be tomorrow. We're starting off at 1700, and we're going to have Poseidon versus Empire. Then we're going to have 4FC versus Virtus Pro, and KP versus Fnatic, which should be a really good match, actually. And then we're going to have only 3 games because aSpera versus Power Rangers is postponed. But at 9 PM tomorrow, we're also going to have EMS. The second cup will start, and we're actually going to have games tomorrow that will have a lot of teams in it that are pretty impressive. And I know which one is as well. If you just hold on for a second there, we'll do this. If I just find it. Oh, there we go. Okay. So, we have... Okay, I don't know anymore. Oh! Both Fnatic and Virtus Pro will join us. And Empire and Menace as well. So, that was it, basically. We're gonna see one of the teams. The brackets aren't out yet, so by 4 PM tomorrow they will be. Anyways, thank you for tuning in. We are watching more Dota tomorrow. If you want to watch more Dota today, you can in about 2 hours. There's going to be the MLG Fall that you should probably watch because, as we already said during this game, the new Dignitas will play in that, or the potentially new Dignitas. Nobody knows, actually, so apart from Dignitas themselves, I would guess. Other games that you can see today, of course, are... the SteelSeries Euro Cup. You can see KP in that one. We'll start in 20 minutes. We'll have KP versus Life. And also, in 20 minutes, the Natolic Pro League will start, and we'll start with the loser bracket, best of 1 games of their brackets, playoff brackets thingies. Anyways, this was StarSeries for day number 9. We're gonna jump ourselves to day number 10 tomorrow, but until then, I'm gonna be playing some commercials and music until I turn the stream off. Oh, hey, Vikama, do you have any shoutouts and plugins?
Nope, not today.
Not today.
Of course, no, that's not true. Thanks to the viewers, Dota TV, Twitch TV, everybody watching in-game, and of course everybody on the stream. We always appreciate you guys checking it out, and yeah, VYKROMOND, you can Google me to look me up.
Make sure you do that, and make sure to follow me on Twitter at Shiver Gaming. That's actually all. You should follow people on Twitter, by the way. That does help a lot for making the Dota scene grow and making other people see that the Dota scene is growing. So subscribe to Twitter, get yourself a Twitter account, and follow all the Dota people that you know, because it's actually really good to keep track of all the gossip and of all the changes, especially if you speak Russian, because Vlad has a lot of insight into changes. Although the Russian changes are already over. Enough babbling. Let's jump us out of this game. Thank you for being here. Peace.